Good. You're breaking up.
Am I?
Yeah, let me just make sure. Hold on. Make sure I'm, let's see here. Wi-Fi. Okay. Hopefully that'll be better. Yeah, I wasn't sure if it was my end or not.
Oh, okay. And how are you doing this morning?
I'm doing good. It's a crazy day. I got a Christmas show. We just brought in a publicity firm. We're trying to wrap up a bunch of stuff. It's one of those crazy, stressful days, but I'll get through it. It'll all be good.
Well, that's always a good thing.
Yes.
Speaking of your Christmas show, that's happening this weekend, correct?
Yeah, it's this weekend, this Saturday on the 19th at 7 p.m. And we're doing just a fun little Christmas set, live stream, and doing some Christmas songs, Stryper songs, solo songs with a kind of a mixture of acoustic and electric, full band. Should be fun.
Nice. And there's a 3-tier package. There's a $10 pack. That's basically general admission, and then front rows $25.
Yep.
And then VIP is $100. These are American prices, of course.
I think all the VIPs are gone.
Okay.
And plenty of front rows left. I think we allotted a lot of front rows and general. But yeah, the front row is basically, it puts you on the video wall and where we can actually see you.
Oh, okay.
And interact with the folks, through the screen itself, which is really cool. And those are a little bit more, but yeah, the general admission is $10. We always try to price it fair so everybody can afford to be there, and we're really looking forward to it.
Yeah, because I'm sure it's going to be a sellout. I mean, you're no slouch when it comes to being well known within the music community.
Well, I tell you, man, I don't know if it'll be a sellout because but the VIPs are sold out, so that's pretty cool. But I mean, we allotted lots of tickets. I think we allotted for general like 25,000 tickets.
Oh wow.
So I don't know if we'll get to that point, but it's so far everything is really going very well. Everyone's excited about it. Who knows how many people turn out? I'd be happy if 500 to 1,000 people turn out, and I think we're easily going to see those numbers. But I'm expecting even more than that. I think we might have a few thousand people and tuning in and spending the evening of the 19th with us. It's going to be fun.
So, traditional Christmas standards you're going to be performing, or is it Stryper's versions of?
Doing a couple Stryper Christmas songs.
Yeah.
And then I'm doing some unexpected Christmas songs as well. A couple of songs that people might not expect me to do that I've never done before.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And so it's not the typical Christmas song and Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer and Frosty the Snowman. It's not those typical Christmas songs.
Okay. So people have to tune in and find out.
Yeah, and it's a fun little set. It's roughly going to be 13 songs or so.
Yeah.
I'll be interacting with people and talking in between songs a little bit, and we're just going to try to make it a really fun night. We're going to have a cool set, with a lot of different things on the stage. Like I said, the video wall, we're going to have amazing lights and sound, full production. It's going to look great. It's going to sound great. And we're going to have a blast. And I'm excited to have a band. It's not going to be full-blown Marshall Stax electric. It's we got a drum kit. We got a bass player with a bass amp. We got me with acoustic guitar and an amp. And we've got a guitar player, Mike Kerr, with an amp and an electric guitar. So it's kind of a combo of both, but not a full-blown metal set. But, that's the whole point of this show is it never is. This is my 5th annual Christmas show, and I've always kept it. I've always gone in a different direction with it, and it's a lot of fun.
Well, and speaking, like I've noticed that you're very active on your Facebook page, and predominantly more now because of all this COVID stuff. But I
Yeah.
noticed the other day you'd mentioned that something that you've been wanting to work on for a very long time is a worship album.
Yes. Very true. I mean, it's interesting with me. I'm one of those guys where I don't like to do what everyone else does.
Right.
It's just how I'm built, and that's with the kind of shoes I wear, to the kind of car I drive, to the clothing I wear, that you name it. I like
Right.
to kind of do whatever is different from the majority, and that's just how I'm built. So that being said, doing a worship album seems like a bit of hypocrisy with that statement, because everyone's doing worship albums. So it seems there's so many.
Right.
So for me to say I'm doing a worship album seems like it's just more of the same, but it's not going to be, in the sense that it's going to be a very unique worship album. So it's going to have a very signature Michael Sweet style to it, and it's not going to be like any other worship album.
Right.
But it's going to be a worship album, lyrically and melodically, and you'll be able to just put it on and close your eyes and worship God, and it's going to be really cool in that sense. But it's just going to be very different and unique, and I've already started the process on that. I sent the song off to someone who's working on it, and I won't name names yet.
Yeah.
They sent me back a piece, and it's sounding really cool, and the process has already started. And that's the way it'll work is, the tracks will be done by somebody else. I'll kind of send them the song idea. They'll do the music bed. They're at their studio, send it back to me. I'll sing it, add guitars, send it back. They'll mix it. It's going to be done pretty much that way over the next 4 or 5 months. And
Right.
then once it's done, which I'm going to handle the budget on my own, once it's done, I'm going to walk it into some labels and see who wants it first.
So can we expect some like gospel vocals from you, or are we're gonna still get the same kind of vocal styling that you've been predominantly known for?
It's going to be a little bit of a different vocal styling. So in other words, it's not going to be the high pitched screaming,
Right.
gritty Stryper kind of vocals, obviously.
Yeah.
I'm going to stretch out, try some different things. I'll probably sing in a little bit of a lower range, a little bit, and definitely try some my hand at some gospel runs and go a little bit more in that direction. But I know whatever it is, I want it to be special. And when people hear it, I want people to watch the first video and hear the first song and say, "What in the world? Wow!" I want it to have the wow factor more than anything I've done, and hopefully it will.
Well, but you folks have predominantly been known for having that wow factor, and the fact that a lot of my friends are like, they don't understand the whole thing with heavy metal. They're like, "Oh, you're such a nice guy, I can't believe you listen to heavy metal." I'm like, well, there's generally, if you listen a bit more, there's generally a message along with that. And
Right.
your band, even your solo stuff, like the stuff you did with George Lynch,
Yeah.
you know, has always got a message. Like your song "Shine" that you put out, that has such a strong message. Just be you, and everybody's got their own way of expressing themselves, but just shine, just let it shine, and be yourself.
Exactly. Absolutely, no question about it. And that's what we've always done. That's always been the goal.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, and with whatever we do. But at the same time, when you say you're going to do a worship album, uh, there's a certain format, and that's going to be the tricky part is staying true to that, but yet at the same time staying original
Right.
and doing something that's me, that's Michael Sweet, and doesn't sound cookie cutter like all the other worship albums. And that's not to take anything away from those albums. I'm just saying it's I've never done that. That's just not me as an artist. I like to do things a little differently and swim, as I say, always swim against the tide. And it's just how I'm built. So I'm really super excited about it. It's going to be a lengthy process because I've got a number of other projects. So I'm going to be working on the worship album kind of in and around those projects. And once it's done, you'll know it. It'll be shopped around, and I'm not sure if I'm going to do a distribution deal or if I'm going to do an outright recording deal and sell the album to a label. But I've already got a couple labels interested in hearing it, and it's a whole different world. It's entirely different than the world that I'm in with the rock and metal.
Right. Well, for sure. Yeah, but it's going to have the Michael Sweet stamp on it, like you say.
Oh yeah,
it's going to be you. It's going to be something different.
And you'll know. Once you hear it, you'll know it's me, and it absolutely will have that signature. But at the same time, it's going to be something different for me. It's not going to be what everyone expects. A doom, ba, boom, boom, ba, gun, gun, gun,
no.
gun. It's not going to be that.
No, it's going to be slowed down.
Totally, it'll just be different.
Yeah.
It'll be totally different, but it's going to be phenomenal because the little taste that I've gotten so far from this producer, musician, is amazing, and
right.
it's getting me excited, and I'm like, wow, and it's going to be phenomenal. It's going to be a great album, and I'm also doing a solo album next year with Rat Pack, a Michael Sweet metal solo album.
Right.
So I've got a lot of stuff going on. I've got project I'm doing with Joe Holkstra and Nathan James finally in January. I just turned in the Sunbomb vocals with Tracy Guns. I start on a Sweet and Lynch album next year, the third Sweet and Lynch album. And then at the end of the year, we're going to be starting on a Stryper album.
Wow. So you're not slowing down anytime soon.
I'll be honest with you. During the pandemic, I've been busier.
Well, because you've had the time to be creative, right? You've had that time.
I don't know what it is. I guess that could be part of it, but I've never been busier in my life. I've been doing lots of projects, and then next year, the entire calendar is filled with projects from January to December. And I'm just really fortunate, man, that I have projects. I have people that want to work with me and people who are interested in what I'm doing and all the fans. I'm very fortunate because it could be the opposite. And I would definitely put a smile on my face and go do what I need to do if I had to go get a day gig at, apply at McDonald's or Dunkin' Donuts or whatever. But I'm just blessed that I've been able to do music. I'm still able to do music. People want to hear what I'm doing, and I'm honored.
Well, that's a great way to be. It's a very humbling way to be.
I tell you, I try to remain that way and think that way because I've been on the other side. I've been on the side where I couldn't get arrested. I couldn't get a record deal, and nobody wanted it, or so it seemed. Nobody wanted to hear what I was doing, and I felt that before, and that's a tough pill to swallow. But it's kept me humble because I know what it's like to be on a roller coaster ride and go up and down, and it's not fun. So, but the last 15 years have been very consistent with releases and music, and I've been able to do music full time, and it's thriving, and I'm excited about it, and I'm so happy, and it looks like I might just get to retire and go out having done music my entire life. So it's pretty cool.
But at the same token, all this, your creative energy and all these projects that you have going on, I know deep down in your heart, because I know this with every musician I talk to, you have that urge to get back on stage in front of a live crowd.
I do.
to some degree. I mean, you've had your years of touring with your band and your solo stuff and your little run with Boston as well.
I definitely do miss that, and I do look forward to it when it comes back. But being able to live in the studio and create music and produce and write music and perform it is still an amazing thing, and
Right.
a big part of why I do what I do. I mean, I'm not going to lie. I think that's my favorite part of what I do is the creative process.
Right.
I love touring and I love going out and rocking, cranking the amps up. I mean, there's nothing like that. But man, where I get my fulfillment is from being able to write a song and, write the lyric and sing it and feel the emotion and know that that's going to be felt by many people listening.
Well, and it's giving you some more home time as well, right? Because you're not
Oh,
on
yeah.
the road.
Yeah. I've been home for a while and not out on the road, obviously traveling and living out of a suitcase and jumping on 3 planes a day. And, that's the stuff I don't miss.
Right.
12 guys going through an airport at 4 a.m. with 100 suitcases, trying to not miss our flight that's leaving at 4:30 a.m. And then we got to fly to one city into another city to get to sound check by 2:00 in the afternoon.
Right.
Been there, done that a million times, and that's the part I don't miss, to be honest. That can get pretty brutal. Well, once you get there and you're on the stage, obviously that's the payoff. But man, the behind the scenes stuff can really be exhausting and beat you up pretty bad.
Yeah, I can only imagine. I mean, you've been in the game for so long. You've been in the music business for so long.
Yeah.
And it's got to wear you down after a while.
Yeah, it's just all the stuff, when you're traveling like that in South America or Europe or Canada or the US for that matter. And you're traveling like that and you're doing 3 in a row or 4 in a row. By the time you get to that third show and you've gotten up at 3 a.m. every day for your 4 a.m. lobby call to make it all work, and you're flying from venue to venue after 3 days, you're just saying, oh my gosh, I wish I was 16 again, It's just you feel it, as you get older, and it's like, oh man. And then the voice, it's harder to sing, and that's disappointing when you feel like you're letting people down because your voice isn't up to par by the third show, and you sound froggy, all this stuff.
Yeah, and singers get a lot of flack for that too.
Well, anyone giving a singer flack for that, it deserves to go on the journey and experience it and sing themselves. And when they can't sing, get flack in return for it.
Right.
They deserve to feel a little bit of the pain so they can maybe, be a little nicer next time around before they comment on Facebook or YouTube,
Exactly. Because we've become a society of that, of just commenting on everything that could possibly go wrong. And it's just like, well, put yourself in their shoes.
It's incredible. It never ceases to amaze me when I watch videos all the time on YouTube, and I'm on Facebook and watch music. And, I know when someone's struggling, they're having a tough time, and I would never in a million years or billion years consider going in the comment box and saying, wow, this sucks.
Right.
This guy's terrible. Whoa, he's not what he used to be. And that's the world we live in right now. And it's really unfortunate because, you just don't know what that person's going through or went through. And, everyone can just go and say what they want to say. And it's unfortunate many times.
It really is. Yeah. I couldn't agree with you more.
But, that's technology. Technology has helped us in many ways, and it's really hurt us in probably more ways.
Oh, I know, because when Kiss was on their final leg of their tour, Paul Stanley was having some issues with his vocals, and everybody just went down on him. And it's like, holy cow! Like, how long have these guys been touring? Like, they're on their final tour.
I know.
For this reason, because
exactly.
they know their time is up. They're hanging their hats up, and my hat's off to them. You know, they've had a long career. You know, and it's just like, I don't know why people can't acknowledge that and just say, okay, they're not in their prime anymore. You know, like.
And these are the same people that call themselves fans,
right? Yeah.
You know, they say they love the band and support the band and they're the biggest fan, but then they're bashing the band. And it's like, wow. And I get it. Sometimes bands deserve to be bashed. I mean, I get that. But, you know, most of the time they don't. And it is sad to see just all the negative comments about someone if they're having an off night or, again, who knows what happened. You know, maybe that's the fourth fly date and the singer's voice is toast, or he's sick, or maybe his mother's passing away at home, not doing, who knows?
Yeah. Well, I've seen you come under attack on your Facebook page as well on some things you posted about. And it's just like, wow, like really, you're allowed, this is your wall that you're allowed to post what you want. And I thought that's what it was all about.
Yeah, I think it's hilarious. It's so funny. I literally laugh because it cracks me up when people go on there and they say something on my wall, and then I come back and say something back and say, well, hold on a minute here. Wait a second. This is my page. And then they come back with, well, I have the freedom to say it. I think not on my page. You don't.
No.
There's no freedom of speech on my page. Sorry. It's like if you come on my page and you say you spew negativity and hateful comments, you're gone.
Right.
Your speech is shut down, you know, and that's just the way I operate my Facebook page.
Yeah. Well, good on you.
Yeah, I don't even think twice about it. If I even get the inkling that someone is going in that direction, honestly, I don't hesitate to ban and block. I've blocked and banned so many people over the years, it's not even funny.
Well, that's a real shame, because on the opposite side of that, you're putting out such a positive message in what people and what you sing in your music.
I know. Well, I try. I posted something positive about President Trump not long ago. And I had a good friend go into my page and start basically, you know, spewing the rhetoric of how could you, how dare you, I can't believe, blah, blah, you know, all the stuff that we've seen for the past, you know, for many years.
Yeah.
And I responded, and I took it for a while. And this good friend of mine, I blocked and banned.
Wow.
Because I felt like it was getting to a point where it was, you know, he wasn't going to hear me out. He wasn't going to change his views. And he was just continuing to, in my opinion, you know, post on my page just nasty stuff. So I think that's what any artist goes through. And people forget that we're people.
Exactly.
I'm a regular guy. I've got emotions. I've got opinions and views that aren't like everyone else's. And, you know, they expect us because we're musicians to be nice all the time or not say anything. And that's why they say, shut up and just play music. It's like, well, no, that's not going to happen with Michael Sweet. Michael Sweet's not going to shut up and just play music. I'm always going to voice my views. That's what I've been doing since '84 on every album, singing about Jesus.
Right.
You know, that's how I'm made. I'm one of those guys that likes to put on the gloves and go out there and duke it out. And I'm going to express myself, and I'm willing to take the heat by doing so.
Well, and the bands come under fire because, you know, it's predominantly heavy metal is known for being darker and edgier, but here comes Stryper, and it was like, because you were the first band to ever preach the word of Jesus, and, you know, kind of bring a light into the whole mix of things. And
Pretty much to do it the way we did it, with that sound and the look and the whole package. Yeah, absolutely. We were the first. Back in 83 is when we formed and officially became Stryper with the 4 members, and then in 84 released our first album. So we really were. Before us, you had Petra, and you had Res Band, and you had a number of Christian rock bands, but no one doing it quite like Stryper.
Well, that's great. I thank you very much for your time, sir.
Buddy, thank you, man. I appreciate yours, and God bless you. Stay safe. Merry Christmas, and I hope to see you soon.
Yes, all the best, and maybe we'll see you maybe in the not too distant future when you can get back out on the road.
Okay, brother. Thank you so much.
All the best to you.
Take care. Bye-bye.